In a report about the economy, filmed in a trampoline centre, you'd hope for phrases like bouncing back or springing up. So would the Chancellor and the government. But Sky News analysis shows that the budget changes announced last year, due to take effect in April, could make life harder for businesses and for workers. Less bounce, more wobble.
I was quite horrified, is the honest answer. The immediate reaction that I hadn't expected was the national insurance. I think we were widely expecting something on minimum wage, widely expecting something on business rates, but national insurance, I think, caught most of us in the hospitality industry a little bit blindsided, to be honest.
Cliff Nichols employs some 75 people here in Bolton. But ahead of those changes, he says he's reduced opening hours and made a senior member of staff redundant. Under the new system, the salary threshold for which an employer has to pay national insurance has dropped from just over £9,000 to £5,000. The more an employee earns, the more money an employer has to contribute. It means for a full-time employee on a 37.5-hour week, earning around £23,800 on minimum wage, their employer would have to pay 3% more in national insurance contributions, around £800. What that means in practice, though, is that for someone like Cliff, it's more viable to employ 3 part-time workers than 1 full-time member of staff. And that comes amongst an already unstable jobs market. The latest available data shows that job vacancies are down by 13% compared to the same time last year. In the economy, much like on a trampoline, there's action and there is reaction. Now, Labour says its budget changes will protect workers' incomes, but businesses like this say it will increase pressure on employers. And economists are warning of wider risks.
So ideally, you don't want both those things happening at the same time. You would either want a big minimum wage increase and, tax rises happening elsewhere, or the big national insurance increase on employer taxes, but a more cautious minimum wage. But we've got both, so that's why it does look like it's a risky year for the jobs of low earners.
Add in the latest higher than expected inflation figures on top, and things look even trickier.
Business is all about hitting the targets, but if those targets are changing, presumably it gets a bit more tricky.
Oh, bullseye. Absolutely. It's suddenly we've got to find another £150,000 that we hadn't budgeted for.
And so that's, maybe take prices up there. You have things like this which are, trying to get people engaged, and it's not just trampolining, it's all sorts.
Yes, exactly. We've got to find other ways, kids' birthday parties and other activities to get people in.
Growth remains the government's paramount target. It's not as easy to hit as it looks. Tom Cheshire, Sky News, Bolton.